Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Deputy President William Ruto arrived in US and he was received by the US ambassador from Kenya. Very 12 days meeting in a tight schedule at a time where he's leaving the country amidst a tight campaign schedule. And Deputy President campaigned to the last minute. He actually left the campaign trail from Nyeri, then took the plane to US. I've seen these photos that have emerged on his reception there. Of course, the Kenyan ambassador, but the other team, I'm not seeing Musalia Mudavadi tagging along. I think maybe he had arrived earlier, or I don't know, someone will actually give us an explanation about it. And his reception have been causing some worries online. People have been asking who the president is meeting in US. So I want you to watch this video a bit, and what do you make of it?
I got
In my initial video that I analyzed, I said that even though it might look at one of the ways that William Ruto is trying to mend his reputation in the international stage, but the big deal here is William Ruto is going to US, then after US, the main business is in UK, where he's going to meet a team from Commonwealth, and he's going to complain to them about the state of election preparedness in Kenya. So my own position was that he's going to pursue something on election. Of interesting to Kenyans now is how the UDA campaigns are going to be coordinated, because the two principals are out. We want to see whether they can trust Moses Masika Wetangula to take charge of the campaigns, or the other team is going to play a pivotal role in those campaigns. So that is something that is very interesting. Now, I think to Raila Odinga and Azimio team, the interest should not be on who William Ruto is meeting, on what William Ruto is doing in US. This is a prime opportunity for them to restructure and put a lot of activities, just like what William Ruto was doing when Raila was abroad. And this can be a far much scheme by Raila team to disorganize William Ruto's UDA and Kenya Kwanza team when William Ruto and the team are away. So that's what I want us to look like. That is what I want us to look at. The strategies that Raila Odinga can put, and what I've also realized is putting, so that he can disorganize UDA during the 12 days tour that the team is camping in US and UK. So guys, before you do that, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, I want to ask you kindly subscribe. Also click the notification bell so that when we publish a video, you will be notified. And guys, I want to do a disclaimer because I'm at home alone and I have my daughter, so she will always be talking in the background, so kindly bear with me. Number one strategy, I've realized that Raila Odinga have lined up a 12-day campaign schedule, very tight schedule, after the Azimio, after the NDCs, both Jubilee and ODM over the weekend. Of interest that there was supposed to be a joint rally on Sunday by both Raila and Uhuru team, but that did not see the light of the day, and people had argued that that is also showing some sense of some split within the team or some cracks. But I want to understand it's because of the OKA, the Kalonzo team, that are non-committal on working with still Azimio. Now, what do you think Raila can do to dismantle William Ruto team during this 12 days tour away? Number one is intensive campaigns based on the manifesto. I think it is time now for them to hit the road. One, they are going to have a very big limelight because now the UDA team is not there. So the Kenyan media is going to give them a lot of airtime because they're the ones that are going on ground. Now, for them to capitalize on that, this is the time to drop a big chunk of their super manifesto. Whatever they want to tell Kenyans that they want to do, I think this is the perfect time to do it. Because the most interesting bit of interest to me is that now they now have the airtime. Kenyans can listen to them without comparing to what UDA are doing or what UDA are saying, because UDA are not on the campaign trail. So for me, this is going to sink Raila agenda. And when William Ruto will be coming back, he will have now to start up from somewhere. So let them go to Mombasa, let them go to Kisumu, let them go to Kitui, let them go to all the areas. Amongst these 12 days, Raila should make a tour of almost all the 8 provinces in the country so that he can actually cement a very good support across the country. And I just want to touch this with my point number 2, which is still related to that I think this is the time to go and campaign Rift Valley. I've always worried why Raila Odinga is not campaigning in Rift Valley, because the last time he campaigned Rift Valley was in Eldoret. Last year, I think it was in October. So after the old Eldoret rally, he only went to, I think he went to Kajiado and bit of Narok, but he has not gone to Wasingishu, the Nandi. In fact, I have not seen Raila campaigning in Kericho. So this is the time to hit the road, because people are more receptive, even though the Ruto supporters are trying to figure out what is he doing abroad, but now there is less of that disruption that is going on. So I think this is the perfect time to do that. Secondly, the Azimio team should make sure that they now bring into sharp focus and revamp the pressure groups. The pressure groups within Azimio are the Warembo na Baba, the Azimio Young Turks, the Azimio Women League. There is this one of Sibanduki kwa Baba, this one of Mama Ida. Personally, I don't think I buy it, as much as it's good, but it jeopardized Raila's campaigns in 2013. Yeah, and it cost because it cannibalized and it had the monopoly of other pressure groups. So the pressure groups should actually emerge, and let me go directly to Nyanza. I think Raila Odinga's national campaigns have remained unattended by Nyanza team because they're actually jostling for positions down there. So what they should do now is we want to see more visibility, because it is through the pressure groups that ODM, that Azimio agenda is going to sink to the communities. So if someone is around Raila Odinga, you should tell Raila Odinga that this is the time the Young Turks, the Warembo na Mam and Anababa and all that team should now be so much active on ground so that people can actually see what they are doing. In my understanding, I think that is going to work to the advantage of Raila Odinga. My other strategy that Raila Odinga team can employ is, this is the time to raid UDA. This is the perfect time to raid UDA. The party leader is not away. There is less of the tracing. No one is tracing what the other person is doing. And there is a bit of that freedom. Secondly, they are not in the campaign mood, and some of them are used to going to rallies. Now there are no rallies. Most of them are perhaps doing their personal businesses or are campaigning on ground. They can easily be approached. So if someone wants to poach a leader from UDA, this is the perfect time. And the strategy can work by just using that trip. In that team, I understand there were almost 30. The William Ruto's team consisted of 30. So the criterion of choosing 30, no one really knows, but we see that there was a team from Deputy President's office, there was another team from his campaign team. That's why Musalia Mudavadi is there. Musalia Mudavadi is the head of his campaign secretariat. Then I think there is also family, because I saw the wife is there, and the secretary to the wife is there. So Rachel Ruto, let's say the second lady, let's say that. So I think that by someone running a narrative on how this selection was done, or even not running a narrative, within UDA, there are people that are uncomfortable that they were not part of that journey. That is for sure. There are people that think maybe they were entitled to it and they're not in it. So I think the Azimio team should target this group and try to convince them otherwise, and you can actually snatch them away. So when William Ruto will be coming back, I think it will be too late, because for now it will just be making calls, what have you done? And that is why this is a strategy that started, because yesterday in the morning before I went to church, there was I think a blogger, an Azimio blogger, who was mentioning there are two stories that are coming up, that that Domingo Magara has quitted UDA, and he has not quitted. He's still in UDA, but that was being brought forth to, if you look at the team that went to US, the team that was less represented is the leadership of the UDA party. So the story of Domingo Magara was coming up just to show this content. As of that, there was also another story that Musalia Mudavadi is making calls to Azimio principals, and as they want to come back. So, when all these are here, you can see that in Musalia Mudavadi's team, only Sakaja went, and so Cleophas Malala, Boni Khalwale are back. Now, these are the fellas that think, they know that going to US, because some of them have never gone there, and of course they're even on a tour, and some of them think that Ruto just picked in terms of the people that are close to him, so the people that are going to US are not his trusted people. I think along these lines, you can draw and at least do some snatching from the UDA. My third aspect was, and I think this one Azimio had in mind, to make sure that by this time that William Ruto is away, they seal the Azimio deal. Now, if there is anyone who was to join Azimio la Umoja camp, I think that person should join now. Their script was very perfect, that during this 12 days, they're going to seal the Azimio deal so that they can hit the ground and Azimio can now be at the takeoff. But then that is getting a setback from Kalonzo Musyoka, who is still non-committal on Azimio. But I think that was a perfect strategy to make sure that they deconstruct UDA. Secondly, or my other aspect is, Raila Odinga should name the running mate during this time. The advantage here is, when he names the running mate, whether he comes from Central or whoever within the Azimio space, that is going to be a conversation. And that conversation is going to attract, attract a lot of interest, because no one is coming over to oppose. When he names the running mate, when everyone is around here, today there is an event going on there. The next day, the day that they know Azimio are going to name a running mate, if, the example, the one will say that there is an NDC for Azimio la Umoja team, the day they know that Azimio is going to name the running mate, they will also put a counter event. And that counter event, they might even also decide to name the running mate the same day, or put a counter rally. And you remember this has always happened. When Raila was doing Bugungu, there was another meeting. When they were at the NDC, the Jubilee and ODM were doing the NDCs, the UDA team were in Central. And so there is normally that shared limelight. But when you name the running mate now, I think it's going to be very perfect. Because if William Ruto wants to say something about your running mate, doesn't have a rally. He's only just going to do a press briefing through his secretary, or this other fellas. Oscar Sudi is just going to record a video somewhere, or Kimani Ngujiri is just going to call people in his home compound and start saying there's some dirty things about President Uhuru Kenyatta. And that has been the normal norm. But when they are away, I think it's a perfect opportunity. Secondly, it's going to play second fiddle. When UDA team come back then to hit the campaign trail, they will actually be playing catch-up. Totally. They will be doing catch-up. So, because Raila Odinga shall have moved and everything shall be going on. So, when they're coming back, they're still putting up, they're still planning, we are planning an NDC. They have an NDC on 15th, which I think by then William Ruto will be back. So, by then 15, they're now doing the NDC. There will be pressure. There will be pressure from their end to name the running mate, because if Raila is going to get the running mate from Central Kenya, already he is coming ahead of the pack. And the Central Kenya will going to buy, okay, this is the direction. We already have the presidential candidate, we already have the running mate, he has picked a running mate from N. So if William Ruto is going to pick a running mate from Central Kenya, he will be a copy-paster. I don't know whether you see that. So for me, that is something that the ODM team and the Azimio team should be very captive on, to capitalize on William Ruto's tour abroad. I don't think, and I see Azimio bloggers coming out to say the way the people that William Ruto is going to meet, junior people. For me, that should not be the focus. I think they are giving focus to the wrong aspect of this. whether he's going to meet the president, or is going to meet assistant minister or a congressman, that doesn't make a point. The truth is the president and Raila and the team knows very well whoever Raila Odinga is meeting, whoever William Ruto is meeting in US, and it's inconsequential. Actually, he is actually also going to campaign. When you look at that video that I was playing for you, he's been received by just, there is a blogger there called Choi who has been so vocal about William Ruto. So that tells you that it is a political tour. And because it is a political tour abroad, Raila Odinga should actually do his best. Lastly, let him go and campaign in Central Kenya. And let him base Central Kenya. This is the time that Uhuru should go to Central Kenya, leave alone even Raila. So that Central Kenya tour that is being postponed every month in, month out, this is the time to go and campaign there. The next 12 days will be very interesting, and I'll be on the lookout to see what Azimio team will be doing. Is the president finally going to do that tour? My bet is yes. Within these 12 days, I think he will go to Central Kenya. Now, there is less friction on the ground, and he can just say his point. The people that are abroad, for now, if he bases in Central Kenya, then I think the traction from the UDA supporter to his side will be high, because there will be no counter rallies. That's my analysis, guys. And so, what do you think? Do you think we should focus on William Ruto's tour there?